Hello there, everybody. How are you doing? I hope, even if you are not doing so well, that you are going to be feeling very good and possibly very emotional by the end of this session. Because welcome to the premiere of our Rangers of a Broken World actual play series. Oh, here on Sword and Key, this is Fragments of Loss. I have been waiting literally years to run this system, and I have nothing but an exorbitant amount of hype right now for being here with everybody. And most importantly, I want to draw attention to the fact that we have the game designer actually here in our chat with us. Everyone say hello to Leon in chat.
Hello.
We are so happy to have you here to watch us, and also just, good lord, so happy to be running this game. I have been in love with just so many of the different ideas and themes of this system, and I hope that I can do it justice and bring to life this world that you have put together, Leon. So, yeah, I am so excited, everybody. But before we get into all of the amazing role playing that I know is going to happen, because I only picked the best, and also, I guess these people too. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll go.
I made you. Yeah, it's like I gotta go. No, I love my players. I'm so excited for all of this, and I cannot wait. We are gonna get into it, folks. With first off, I'm gonna just do quick channel business, and that one of the other things that makes me super excited to be running this is guess what? We are raising money for Trans Lifeline. Uh, Stating it directly for the record, in case you are wondering, based off of my voice or any other absurd, arbitrary gender markers that you think you can interpret with 100% accuracy, I am a trans woman. I am a queer trans woman who is also autistic and disabled along many fronts. So if you are a TERF who happens to have gotten here by accident, get out. But in actuality, if you're anyone who does not take seriously the state of trans existence right now, leave, get out, actually, because we're in a time of great crisis, and it is the responsibility, as I believe Toni Morrison said at one point, it is the duty of all artists during times of crisis to speak art, to bring it into creation, something that speaks against that, and something that allows us to imagine otherwise. And as many other fantastic writers, not least among them, and one of my favorites, Leah Lakshmi Piepsna Saramasinha, has said, we have to always keep imagining the impossible. We have to imagine a different world, because the one thing they can't take from us is our imagination. The imagination is always a space that can be free. And so, please, please, if you are able to, we would deeply appreciate you giving any support you can to the Lifeline, and in actuality, any donations you make following the link that is in the chat to the Tiltify will actually affect our players' decisions and choices and options, because $5, a player of your choice gets a reroll on a single dice. $10, player effectively gets, oh, that might actually be, no, that is, you get effectively an auto crit. You get a 6, they don't even need to worry about that dice. $15, all party members get a reroll of any dice that they roll. $20, party gets an auto success each. Each of you will just get one dice that is automatically a 6. You don't have to give a shit about it. $25, you can choose one player. It will be a pool shared amongst the entire cast to ignore gaining scatter when casting magic. Which means if you wanted to go, I'm about to do a pro gamer move right here, you could spend that and do that. And 35, a player can choose to ignore gaining blur. So if you want to help your friends out with casting magic, you don't need to worry about the consequences. And last but not least, the party can choose between one of two options at $50. You can choose to ignore a hit during crisis, or roll twice when rolling to form the advantage pool. Now, I want to make clear, that's not you get to re-roll during making the advantage pool, which happens during crisis mode. Every single one of you gets to roll twice and take the results from all of those rolls. That is why it's a $50 donation. That's the big one up there. Oh my God, we are already at $65 of our $100 goal. I know that we came into this with $25 to start with. Hell yeah, people, let's go. But I dilly-dallied on a lot of channel business and such. I'm going to let my players introduce themselves. I'll do content warning, and then we will jump into this. And I'm going to start based on what I see on the overlay, going counterclockwise. Amber, you're first. Introduce yourself, your pronouns, and character, just playbook, and pronouns as well. So,
Okay.
Amber.
My name is Amber, and my pronouns are she, they, and I am playing Azura, who is a title navigator who also uses the pronouns she, they.
Fantastic. Now we pass over to the fantastic Mirm.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mirm. I use she, they pronouns, and tonight I will be playing a volcanic tracker named Wea, and they use they, them pronouns.
Amazing, and the incomparable, the editor extraordinaire, and just the fantastic writer and contributor to so many different things. Sebastian, yes, you get an extra special introduction because I adore you. Go.
Oh, thank you. I'm Sebastian. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Keldrinith, who also uses they, them pronouns and is a beckoning infiltrator.
Fantastic, folks. And for those of you who do not already know me, my name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns, and I will be your conductor this evening of chaos, sadness, intrigue, flirtation, maybe, and a few other things that we'll see what happens. But just a quick thing as a note of safety and no levity, all joking aside, this is a series that deals with post calamity. This deals with the aftermath of a great tragedy, especially in a massive environmental disasters. If you are someone who has had a recent loss in your life, has dealt with various mental health issues, especially ones that relate to dissociation or depersonalization or derealization, or just mentions of death or thinking about the past in which very difficult things have happened, can be a triggering source for you. Please check in with yourself as to whether or not you feel you can continue in with all of this. And I did see the note in chat that they wanted me higher because Zoom lowered my volume again. It does this. Zoom, I will fight you to the end of my days. But that is all of the major details for background dressing that we need. Let us begin, as we always do, not at the beginning. Contrast to what you might think, we are always in the middle of things, and let us collectively take a deep breath. And we find ourselves at first amidst shadow. There is dark, there is nothing there, there is no sense of sights, sounds, or anything. And then we look out from a skyward point, looking down at a massive continent that is the world of Amilta. A place that once, where there was a craggy mountain range known as the Cloud Comb, crumbled, a wave of dirt and soil spreading out and causing great devastation everywhere that it went. Many were lost, places buried, whole spots of civilization gone in an instant. There was much sadness and much pain and harm that emerged from this. But as with many things that are calamitous, there were also moments of beauty and hope that slowly began to emerge. Those eight, the Daedalus, the deities bound, in a manner of speaking, to mineral manifestations of their will, now dot Amilta and continue to anchor places that are very different now. There is vast open grasslands where playful, if a bit mischievous, goats wander with thick woolly coats that mask their movements. There is a trade hub where desert meets these same woodlands and such. There are archives located deep within an oasis, wooded footlands surrounding what is only the last remaining piece of that once vast, craggy mountain range. There is a low, domed, volcanic mountain range deep, deep, deep in the jungles of the Coral Coast. So many places, beautiful, wonderful, but terrifying in some ways. And it is not towards the coast that we begin our first look into this world. It is not beneath the mountains or anything that we are starting with, but instead the outskirts of a citadel where the last war took place of a kingdom now mostly gone, half buried. It is here where a great stretch of gloomy, shadowed plains spread out, where horrors, manifestations of the emotional and physical traumas that have been inflicted upon this world, manifest the moment that the sun breathes its last breath for the day. And regrettably, while there are those who patrol these half-excavated seats, claiming to keep safe one Daelith, there are also poor souls who are deposited, shall we say, when they are out about being in places they're not supposed to be, in an old dungeon connected to various tunnels beneath the old city walls. And it is here where we find the first of our rangers. Keladreneth, if you would not mind describing what you look like and how exactly you got caught and found your way here.
Well, this location that you describe is my hometown, unfortunately. Um, I'm from Rimehold. So I'm very short. I'm like 5 feet tall. I'm wearing all black so as to blend in with this very shadowy, gloomy environment. And of course, I have a hood up, so it's very difficult to discern my appearance. But I think as I am, uh, am I being pursued at the moment, or like have I
No,
been
no, no. You
caught?
are
Caught?
literally in a dungeon.
Ah,
Like guards just got done just sort of being like, it's rather unfortunate that we have to put you here, but no one can disturb the Daelith. If you've been caught, you are not capable of seeing the Daelith at this time. Funk just deposited you in a room. They don't appear to have locked the door, and there could be other ways out. You would have to take a look around, but you're basically there like, you got caught. Sucks to be you. We're effectively
yeah,
doing the sneak in section of Wind Waker at the beginning where you have
right.
no sword or shield and you just got thrown into a jail.
Yeah. So this is this is me. You're probably wondering how I got here kind of moment.
Very much so.
Record scratch.
It is
Like,
very much
yeah.
that energy.
Yeah. So I think what you see is I have kind of light brown skin-ish and dark hair with like a kind of purple streak through it. Um And I am kind of pacing around this cell, just kind of whistling, hoping to pettily annoy these guards because, I don't think they're not gonna let me out here, so I might as well make their job irritating. Like I'm not very sensible in the sense that I think, being nice to them would probably get me out faster, but I don't like these guys. So, a cab. Like yeah,
What you do see one of them
I'm
just
just
sort of,
whistling.
yeah, one of them just sort of goes by the door. At this very graven faced, I probably put her probably like late 40s. The expression on her face makes her seem much older than she actually is, and there are strands of silver, but she has a long spear in one hand and what looks like it would have the appearance and texture and fabric of something more akin to like a cloak or like robes, but if one even gently pokes it, it's far too solid. It's like a strange armor that has like the thin, it has that kind of quality like mithril is described as, where it's like, oh, it's so light and easy, but it stops an entire pike from going through you. It's like, dear ranger, I hate to say this with any level of emotion in my voice, she says, dead as she can. But please stop. If you are going to see Lady of Revolution, get good. Walks away.
Yeah. I whistle even louder in response to this.
Like, she just rolls her eyes and just sort of she clicks, like she does like a small click sound of just going like, just like clicks her tongue, like, Bartholomew, make sure this one doesn't get into trouble. And you see someone who's clearly like 4 or 5 inches taller than her and built out significantly much more with muscle and just general unfriendliness. She was the nice one.
Ah. Well, is this person coming right up to my door?
Just sort of opens the door and just sort of pokes their head in. Just
What?
shakes their head and then just pokes their head back out.
Yeah. I mean, don't you know that songs are the basis of revolution? Do you know any good ones?
No.
Oh, well, it would be my pleasure to introduce you to several. And I whistle a very upbeat revolution song.
There, you know what? I would like you to do a skill roll for me. I want to see if this, how well this does.
Please, I have performance. Let me do it.
Please. I want to see how this goes. So you're gonna pick. You get 1 die for every point and which particular facet you're gonna pick. And now
I want to pick daring because
I love this. Daring is a fantastic choice for this. Okay, so we have that. Then add 1 die per season. So if you are using a skill, you'll add 1 because we are in our first season of this series. And then hold on, one quick document over. And then if you are using a motivation that is a part of your key, so the list of motivations will be something you will have come up with. It will be, I believe it's a number of 6. If any of them seem to be appropriate, you can add 2 more dice to your roll.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say bravado. Very important to me.
Considering this person is, we're going to say at least 8-9 inches taller than you. And that's on a good day for you.
Yeah. Standing on tiptoes.
I'm going to say this is quite a lot.
Okay.
So take all of those d6s, because it's a d6 based system. Roll that and let's see what happens.
Okay, that is 2 6s and a 1.
2 6s and a 1. Okay. Yep. Now, 1 is an edge success.
Yes.
I will offer you this bargain. Now, this is a negotiation between us. You can also be the one to start a bargain and offer a way of making this more interesting, but here's one I want to offer to you. You will succeed at this, no matter what, with one of these 2. But the other one will be extremely pissed off and not amenable to anything you have to say going forward.
That is entirely fair.
Okay.
I am good with that as a consequence.
Okay. So, with that being the case, that is 3 successes. You have definitely landed what you needed to get for this. The difficulty was only 2.
Okay.
So you have managed this. So the individual who I want to know, while they are built like a tank, very oddly gender ambiguous. They are just the most tanky non-binary guard you have ever seen. And just sort of there. And you can't help but notice that as you are whistling, you see tapping his feet.
Yeah. I'm not going to comment on it. I'm just going to keep whistling this very upbeat, liberation song. And I'll do that until the end of the song. And I'll be like, yeah, see, it's good, isn't it? It'd be a shame if you're the only one to hear it. The Daleth would definitely love to.
starts raising hand to their chin, actually considering this just a little bit.
Yeah. How about this? How about you let me out just for a little bit, and I promise I'll come right back. You can put me right back in here. We'll have no problem.
Does this mean you'd be willing to show me more songs after this?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll be back.
You just hear you hear a voice from like not that far away. It's like, Bartholomew, what are you doing? Put them back in the dungeon. And it's like, oh, Arietta, but there's such songs. I haven't heard this one since I was a boy. No, we are not having this discussion. Every single time that there has been a shift you have been on, the moment that any one of them starts doing a song, you say, oh, it's a song I haven't heard since I was a boy. Why don't you go to a tavern or somewhere else and go listen to songs? There is an argument happening between them right now. They do
Yeah,
not appear to be aware of your
Yep.
presence.
And myself and my small size, I'm just gonna squeeze past this guard under their arm, assuming that they had one hand on the cell door,
Yep.
and I'm just
They
yep. I'm just gonna
they are
squeeze past and scamper off and elsewhere into the dungeon. And to myself, I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, I'll be back in a kind of roundabout way because this probably isn't, this isn't the first time I've been at this dungeon. I think that, I'm just going to get, I'm just going to get arrested again, and then, like I will have technically kept my promise, so it's fine.
so technically yes, but not really no.
No, not in the spirit, not in the spirit, but in the letter, yes.
In the letter of the
So,
law, it works.
yes. And I'm just, I'm not whistling anymore, but I've scampered off.
And you're doing the scamper, going away, and you're finding yourself in a spot where, again, the streets, as I said before, they're like half excavated. And by that I mean there's sections where there's the illusion of a pathway kind of there. If you like close your eyes and you don't really look at it very directly, you're like, that's a street. And then when you open your eyes, it's not so great, but patrols just everywhere. Just again, the same kind of thing. A variety of different guards. Some of them look as though they aren't carrying any weapons, but you are seasoned enough to know if these are people who belong to her, if these are people who care about the Daelith who you are here to visit, of Atasa, then those who serve the goddess of revolution are not so quick to always give away what they have on hand. And you know that it will not take them very much to fire a hand crossbow, to have a set of knives, daggers, swords hidden in different places.
Highly likely. Just gonna add that to my long list of things to talk to the Daleth about. There's just something about a carceral state that is just not very revolutionary.
You get the impression she probably would not agree with this either. But as you were thinking of Atasa and you're thinking about the discussions you might have with her, there is a very curious sight on a street, on a bit down the street, down an alleyway. It looks almost like a badger of some kind. But it has a very almost dual colored kind of aspect of black and white along its fur, like two lines trailing right down along its spine.
Okay. Is Atasa known to be associated with badgers?
You have no idea. That would require a check to be certain. But because this is the kind of thing where it's just like, she's crafty. She expects those who follow her to be either very subtle or very cunning or both.
All
So
right.
you're uncertain. Could be because who the hell would have a badger randomly out in the street? But as you're thinking of this, the badger just sort of looks at you. Just gestures.
Is this a normal behavior for badgers of this region? I would know
Nope.
that.
You would know that. This is not.
Okay. I'm just gonna shrug and run after the badger. In a kind of, might as well kind of way.
As you pass through this alleyway, you note that right as you turn around into the alleyway, you look upon one of the most horrifying things you have ever seen, as it sounds as though there is some sort of clanking of metal and minerals just scraping strong against one another, but it makes no sense because the sight that greets you looks almost akin to a shadowy panther. And there's not, you don't really see full formed flesh per se. It looks more akin to mist or fog, but you are certain you hear, again, solid clanging metal. And you watch as near the face of this panther, it's almost as though its mouth opens up to have four long, almost tendrils surrounding it, and it's growling at you. Kilodrenith, what do you do?
Where did the badger go? I look around and be like,
Badger's
wait,
gone.
where did you go?
Badger is just gone.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what I get for running around in my home city. It's full of horrors. All right. I'm it's growling at me. Okay.
It's growling at you. What are you doing? It hasn't made any hostile gesture towards you other than it looks unhappy and is growling at you. What do you do?
I'm going to put my hands up and back away very slowly. Calmly.
Okay. I'm gonna need a roll from you. This will
Okay.
also be difficulty of 2 is what you're
Fair
aiming
enough.
for.
Okay. I think probably understanding.
Okay. Roll with understanding.
I don't know if I can use humanity in the sense that like I'm appealing to this creature's
It does not appear to have any
possible-
sense of
Yeah,
humanity.
okay, fair enough.
Let's go
yeah.
with nah.
Okay. Maybe okay, well in which case key freedom possibly.
You know what? Trying not to die is a good
I'm trying not to
impulse
die.
towards
This
freedom.
is a good start. So okay, if I'm correct, that's 5 dice.
Give it a roll.
Okay. Okay. That is a 1 and a 6. So technically
You-
fail.
Okay. Now, currently it is a fail, but that 1 is an edge success. Is there a bargain you would like to make, or would you like me to offer you one?
No, I want to see where the failure goes.
Okay. Also, I love that that cat is just chilling out on the camera. That's the nice version of what I've described. That one doesn't have clanky metal. That's just soft little purry. my
Yes.
friend.
Yes.
But Pet the Pet has been redeemed, so I think they're gonna get the pets. You hear this creature just begin to move, and again, it's very almost gentle as it's moving, but every bit of its whatever this kind of foggy, shadowy kind of energy cloaking it that's moving closer to you, whenever its paws seem to land on the ground, it's this loud clanking metal. And there's a very definitive moment of you're backing up and you have no idea whether or not you're going to make it out of this when you hear several voices behind you of the patrolling soldiers just coming to like fight and deal with this thing. But this thing, now more out of its body, these tendrils of shadow begin to lash out, and basically by backing up the way that you have caused a frenzy to and whole conflict to break out.
Oops.
What are you doing?
Well, if I cause this, I suppose. Can I try to cast a spell about this?
I'm going to say, while you have not met her yet, I'm going to say attempt it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I didn't ask what terrain spell notes apply here.
I am going to tell you which ones you have available that you are aware of.
Okay.
I will give you a couple pieces. Computer, please stop doing the thing. Let me look at my personal notes. There we are. GM notes. There we go. I will say that the region that you are in, it being the urban kind of one that it is, there's a variety of different things that could apply. The two current ones that you are aware of are illuminated and cracked.
Okay.
So you would like to try and cast a spell. So you, in order to do so, take a note from your own list. Which one are you going to use?
Let's try changing.
Changing.
Yeah, changing. Let's try that.
Changing. What is
Mm-hmm.
this? What is the terrain spell note of the two that you have?
So changing cracked.
Changing cracked. Okay,
Yes.
that is the phrase you have. What do you
Yeah.
intend to do?
I would like to change like the cracked. I want to widen it so that it's no longer a crack but a chasm, and I'm hoping that this thing falls into it.
All right.
Yeah. And honestly, if some of the gods fall into it, then not really my problem. But mainly this creature.
I will. Okay, so here's what I will put it at. If you would like this to completely deal with said creature, regardless of who else it affects, I'm going to put it at a cost of 4 scatter to do it.
Okay.
If you want this to hinder its movement and get it stopped, I'll put it at 2 scatter.
No, I want it to completely deal with it. Let's take 4 scatter. Okay.
Okay.
Can pay
What
that
is
cost.
All right, so you are willing to pay 4 scatter for this. Describe to us, what does it look like when, again, this is a period of time. This is a period of time where you do not yet feel her blessing. So what does it look like as you try and reach out for Keladrinith in this moment, where they do not know if magic is a thing that they are even capable of just yet? What does it feel like, and what happens?
I mean, as this creature advances very slowly, I kneel down on the ground and I put both hands to the edge of one of these cracks. And I think to myself, this is what I'm willing to do to get to see you. You better come on. I'll make it worth your while. I'm just thinking that in my brain, and it looks like I have a look of great determination on my face, and then I close my eyes and I just press my hands into the earth.
And there's a moment, there's definitely like one beat, and you're like, nothing is happening. And you are starting to get to that moment as it's moving closer and the guards are trying to hold it down, where you have the oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit moment. And then you watch as it sounds almost like panes of glass breaking all across the ground as it just shifts open. And a chasm opens up between you and them. The creature falls down. You know not how long this will hold this thing down here, if it can leap, if it can climb. You don't know how long the guards will be entertained by this, or if more of them are coming. But you do have one thing for certain, which is that you know she is somewhere further in.
Yeah, she's willing to at least entertain whatever nonsense I'm doing. That's great. I'm going to skedaddle. We're going to run away. Run
You
towards
keep
her,
you
hopefully.
keep you keep running towards the center. And again, there's more guards, but you hear the sound of shuffling feet as they're almost like they're all wondering, what is this loud ass commotion that you have caused? And there is one passage as you're going by the side of a building that you notice There's a way in deeper. You're able to follow. This place that you enter, it looks as though at one point there must have been great conflict and tragedy that happened at the center of this place. There are spears, there are swords, all with the metals rusted over. There are potentially banners, fragments of armor that has long gone into ruin, streets upturned. But gesturing out of the ground, out of place, a slender, graceful marble hand emerging from the hillside from which the center of this location moves upwards and out of.
Do I get the sense that I have found her?
You do. As, curiously enough, there's currently a badger just sitting in the center of said graceful hand. It just sort of has its little paws up like this. Just...
I'm just gonna shake my head in unimpressed manner, roll my eyes, but come towards it anyway.
Hello there. And you see the badger speaks to you directly.
Oh, hi. Okay. What was that about? Did you have to lead me into danger that was going to threaten my life? Was that really necessary?
Well, necessary is a rather odd word to be choosing for someone looking for me.
Okay, well, I guess the more pertinent question is why?
Hmm. I suppose I wanted to see what would happen if you had the possibility to save those who spoke in my name or your own life.
Well, clearly, as I stand here before you, I trail off and do not finish that sentence.
You watch as, like, Badger just sort of hops down from the hand and just walks a little bit around, and you watch slowly as just it's almost like you blink and there is another form there. This is an individual whose form seems to have elements of that marble all over her body, striated in much the same way that the badger's was. It seems almost like her hair has a dual tones of color through it, and you see that on one arm it's completely gone. There is a prosthetic that is metallic, and it looks as though she even leans over and is just like adjusting a segment of it as she walks around. If anyone has ever seen Violet Evergarden, think very much like those kinds of like manually steampunk adjusted hands and arms. What I always ask of those who come to find me is truly, what are you willing to do? In my name, for the sake of others? Any number of these questions, but I'm always curious to test. What would you do in a moment of crisis? Would you immediately go towards the people who claim to speak for me? Would you take care of yourself? Would you risk danger? Would you fight directly? Would you be more subtle and careful?
I mean, it would very much depend on the nature of crisis. I'm not going to lie, my first instinct is always going to be to save my own life. But if there is something that, just because I am more useful alive than dead.
And is this how you evaluate your own worth, Caladrineth? Simply by how useful you are to other people?
I mean, I feel like as a character, I feel called out. My inner monologue is like, "Excuse me," like, yeah. But I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be like, "Well, It is certainly a measure of value, not the entirety, but
But it is something you take seriously for yourself, yes?
yes.
Do you know the names that I am given by people? The titles that they claim belong to me?
The Lady of Revolution, among many.
Yes. Do you know what it means to speak to revolution? Not just for others, but for yourself.
No, but I know what it is to sing of it.
You have the spirit of revolution, and that is important. For you know what is the most horrifying thing that any person can witness in their lifetime.
What is it?
It is not to see flesh torn asunder and you watch as she simply undoes like one aspect of her arm and it falls away like entirely, and you see she is almost like an amputee, and you watch as over time more of her appearance, it's not elegant, it's not fine, it's like there are scars, there are cuts, there are bruises everywhere on her body and such. It is not to see flesh rent asunder, it is not to see a mind break or become subsumed under horrifying repression. And you see that her appearance, there's nothing, there's no glitz, there's no glamour about it. It almost looks like someone who most people would do the stereotypical like description of like a street urchin. It is to see a spirit broken to the point where they are willing to see indignity, suffering, oppression, pain, the repression of all others, and accept that that is how things must continue. That that is the most horrifying thing to see. And it is the thing that I ask of you. Are you willing to stand by and let such pain happen to others?
No, I'm not.
Are you willing to be something more than just the one who gets away, the one who survives? If need be, are you willing to embody something that it seems is difficult for you, if I am not understanding you incorrectly, but to be hope for others?
I will do my best.
Puts the arm back on. You see, like all of it, that the most comfortable form she seems to have, because it's become clear to you that she could take on any given form, though always with the detailings of something dual toned, either in her hair and scars that dot portions of her body, and whether or not she has two prosthetic legs or arms, or whether or not her hearing is good in either ear, or if she is deaf and is speaking to you suddenly in sign language. To know that you are mine. You are mine not in the way that a person owns a blade, wields their faith in a manner that truly is merely moralizing and platitudes. But you are mine the way that a family cares for others. You are mine the way that a community upholds those who are most vulnerable. You are mine, Kilodrenith, and I will be with you.
Thank you. I will extend my hand to her, offering her to take it.
She does, and then switches back to the badger form.
Okay.
And she seems to just run around you with some happiness and then perch on your shoulder. And then, as if almost with no effort, as if no time passes at all, you look to your side and you see you are on the outskirts of your home. You are outside of the citadel, past all of the horrors. and the dawn is rising again. You have no idea how much time has gone by.
Weird. Well, if I'm outside, I'll just kind of sit by I mean, there's a wall, right, around the city. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just going to sit and like lean against the wall and watch the sun come up.
And very far off in the distance, as though there is a soldier about to begin his rounds again for the morning, you hear someone just faintly whistling. And as we turn from this moment, Celadrineth taking in all of the shenanigans, all of this weirdness that has just gone on, we now move to a different region entirely. Where before we had aspects of the city, of the urban, of streets. Now we find ourselves on the western coast. Water here is not simply something that is had as a drink, a water skin, or a scheme. There is not the comfort of simply walking down the street, but of manning the masts, taking care of a ship, of knowing that one wrong move will lead the currents to drag you under. And amidst all of this, we find ourselves on a ship. Azura, would you please describe what you look like and what what you're currently feeling as you're seeing a bit off in the distance? It's been weeks out at sea. You've been trying
Mhm.
to handle this situation for a while because trying to do anything out on this coast, it can take months to even get past certain areas. What is going through your mind and what do you look like?
Azura is this tall, large, both in physical form and presence, um, woman, with this shock of white and blue hair, like the sea foam hitting the beach, um, piled sort of in the top of her head, and shaved all along the other side. Her skin would typically be very pale, but the weeks at the sea have turned her entire complexion slightly pink, as she is not one to remember to wear sun protection at all times. Um, this has been a roller coaster for Azura, this adventure, because um she has a tendency to need something to do. So in the moments where things are smooth sailing, she's been having to find things to do with her hands. So all along the ship's railing, all the way around, are these etches of things that have happened during the day. And you can see they probably were created by this knife that she keeps on her hip. She's carved waves and fish and the sun, and clouds all into the railings all the way around. To they have met, and she's had to go sort of down the side rails of the ship and onto the bottom rails as well. And as she starts to see in the distance um her destination, she's pacing on the floor and checking in with her crew, probably a little bit too often, to make sure everything is set for the remainder of the journey. But her crew doesn't seem to mind that she's asking these questions. They're used to her double checking and triple checking the things that are happening. And also she asks them in such a way that it's like, I'm happy to do it even if I haven't been doing it yet.
As if on cue, there is there is one person who comes by you. They have I love Leon's comment is if I had a dime for everyone who played a title navigator decided to be a big powerful lady. This playbook
Listen,
is a magnet for it, and I understand why. I am with Leon on this. There is a reason you make a big lady for this playbook.
yes.
I will not repeat Mare's comments, lewd as they are, and far lewder have I made. But you see, there is an individual who looks as though she has several. They have several different long braids that have been like all like almost pulled together to make one big bun.
Mhm.
You would have to admire the craftsmanship if it wasn't just how loud this person was. Even when they're right next to you, it's like they don't quite understand. Their volume control was left at high, and no one remembered to put it back down on any occasion. You would know this individual dressed very much basic pantaloon shirt and such. Nothing
Mm.
very heavy, very easy to move around in, and looks as though they have a sword by their side. Very deep brown skin, a little bit darker than it might usually be. It seems as though they've tanned a fair bit with being out here with you, but you would know them as Violet.
Mm.
They are very much a good friend of yours, and she is just taking her time looking over to you. Azura, you're doing it again.
This is- What? What am I doing?
You're pacing, and whenever you start pacing, you start thinking about asking us to do something. And whenever you start thinking about asking us to do something, that's 12 of us who have to start changing what we were already doing.
But well, I mean, this is very important, and I just want to make sure. I mean, I know I trust you all. It's not that I don't trust you all. It's just that this is, I just, I'm very nervous.
Well, what are you nervous about?
I don't know.
Did have you Okay, why don't we do a contrast? Instead of you wanting 12 of us to try and deal with this problem, why don't we go down below ship just for a few moments and just let me hear you out exactly what's on your
Okay,
mind.
okay. Um, yeah, that might be. It's hot. Are you hot? I'm hot.
We're all aware of this.
Okay,
That
but
was I will say at least ten
I
percent of the
just,
reason all of us were interested in working with you.
uh, Violet. All right, let's
Oh,
go below
fair
deck.
enough, fair enough. I'll behave for right now.
Okay. So she will uh, Violet is a good reminder to Azura that it's like get out of your own head, so to speak, and we'll head down below deck and sort of if she passes anybody by working, she'll sort of just like not say anything but be like, okay, that looks good for now.
There is definitely a very strong scent of onions and coconut currently going through the bottom of the ship right now. It looks as though someone has dug into the last reserves of a rarity that happens for you to last this long, which is a coconut. And I've been using some of the coconut cream that has been distilled from it in order to make a dish on the ship with some recently caught fish that they have managed. It is being served in the coconut because why would you not reuse things that you already have on
Absolutely.
hand? And so like
Absolutely.
it's the whole if you were trying to go on a date and they remotely did not like the smell of onions, you are not the person who should go on that date. You are the wrong
No.
person. And so she takes you like to what is people call it on the ship the captain's quarters, but it's really just
Mhm.
everyone rotates out who gets the nicest bed, which is in the
Mhm.
captain's quarters when you got this ship. No one really knows exactly how or why you have this ship. Nobody asks. It's better you don't ask. Or more importantly, it's better you don't know. But there is enough room for two chairs to be in there, and she sits you down. All right.
I just I I I I'm just very excited about all this, but I just really don't know what to expect. And what if I say or do something very stupid and I then maybe they won't like me and And
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then what? And then what do? We did all of this for nothing.
I mean, I got to try nice other fish that I don't normally get to have. I got to be tired for several weeks on end that I could have been doing anything else or making money over at the port.
See?
That was a joke.
Oh, what? But what if somebody else on the ship thinks that that's not okay?
Have you talked to
I don't
everybody
want
else
them.
on the ship?
Well, not about that specifically. Maybe. Oh yeah, maybe I should ask him all.
Dear,
That way I
dear,
would know.
dear, do I need to remind you of the mantra we work by?
Yes, I forgot.
Worry about the sea, not what will be. Stop getting focused on the future.
See,
If
to
you keep
see what
worrying
will
about it,
be.
then you're not actually keeping your eyes on the
See what
problem.
will be. The problem is me. I'm the problem.
Oh, this is why I never travel with bards. People who know songs. There's I want to know also, this woman is not very tall. This
Mm.
she's cracking 5 feet on a good day. She is tiny. She just has the presence of someone a foot and a half taller than her and a few inches wider than who she is.
Ugh. Violet, I did I make a mistake? Did I? What
Let's
if this wasn't what I was meant to do?
look. Do we want to be real for a moment? Do we want to be really real for a moment?
And I changed my mind in the middle.
She like slightly she like grabs your head like between both of her hands and like lightly baps you on the forehead.
Hey, yes, let's be real. Yes, yes, I can handle this.
There are many things any of us could have done instead of this. But we are here because one, we trust your skills, and two, we understand that this is a challenging thing to do. To try and see the navigator is a rather difficult process.
Yeah.
No one can do this alone. And do you really think any of us want to be that person who says no to an opportunity to, if we succeed, we bested the Altar World. We bested the whirlpool that has sunk so many ships. We will have bested and get to lord over all of those assholes who always said that we couldn't do this.
Like
I know,
Carl.
remember you, Gregory. I remember you saying that I didn't know how to manage a ship, but I do. And she just kind of gets lost in her own train of thought for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah. And it's her just like Carl. Yeah, it's Carl and Gregory.
There's a couple other names that are just thrown in there. There's a Kyle mention for some reason. Nobody knows why.
Suzanne.
It's just a list of names that both of you kind of get lost in a thread of like being angry at people who were mean to you. Look, the point is, we're here because we understand that this is an opportunity for all of us, and if it happens to help you out, that's great. We're more than willing to see this through till the end. We know the risks. We know what it will take from us.
It would be really cool if we did it right.
It honestly, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This would probably be one of the greatest things I will have ever accomplished in my short life.
And cool, right?
Yes, quite. I cannot
Okay.
overstate this. Like, this person is like has if ever there was a manifestation in a humanoid form of the concept of hype, that's who Violet is in this moment. They are just standing up, like suddenly putting their foot up on a chair, which really does not make them that much taller when they get on it, and just going, yes, we will do this. And it's about at this time that you start hearing a bell being rung above.
We need to go up.
Current is surging! Current is surging! And you look out the windows and you see some distance ahead. The water is beginning. It's an unnatural set of movements. It's almost like at some point, like the water is closing over and forming a mouth. And suddenly, like whole sections, it almost looks as though for a moment you could see where the seafloor would be at some points where it emerges out of it, then it crashes right back down. This is going to be so much trouble to get through.
Without saying anything, Azura sort of the switch turns on, and any stress, nervousness, anxiety that she was once like just seconds ago showing to Violet, she all of that sort of frazzled energy is gone, and she knows that the ship needs her now. So she sort of just uh makes her way past Violet and back up the ladder stairs and heads back to the deck.
All right. Also, I just want to take a moment to pause from that to say we are at $110. We've already beaten the $100 goal we had at the start of the stream. Holy Christ, everybody. Thank you so much for donating to Trans Lifeline. We appreciate it so much, and we're going to keep this going by high intensity because, oh my God, yes. As you are running up, you are getting into place to start, like, this is the shift to being like, no, we now have to get shit done. There is no room for anxiety. You start hearing a voice leaking into your head. There will be much current air, there will be much anxiety, there will be many things that will come towards you, or you have the strength to deal with it. Do you have the strength? Do you have the willingness to carry on? Do you have the willingness to face the tides? Are you willing to resist itself?
She's just pushing you know leading command to the crew that's on the ship, and pulling ropes and doing all kinds of cool boat stuff that boat people do. And just even though this is like a record skipping in her head, um this is laser focus, critical time. This is what she knows, and as much as she worries about what she doesn't know, what she does know is how to run a ship, and she is laser focused in on this.
The first of what looks to be a massive, almost, again, it's strange to imagine it like a maw just opening up with teeth made of the drenching water that's pouring back down towards the seafloor, but the first mouth seems to open and head towards the ship. What are you doing?
She yells to everyone, hit the deck. Hit the deck and hold on.
All right, I want you to make a roll for me to represent like your overall ability to how well you can command the people on your ship to get in place and not panic in this moment, because there's been turmoil, there's been a lot of like this ship dealing with bullshit. This is when it's getting real rough. So I need you to pick a facet.
I'm gonna pick adaptability. Things
Good
have
call.
changed. Things have changed, and we need to adjust.
Do you have a skill that you feel is relevant at this time?
Navigation.
Good pick. So you get one more die added to that. And then are any of your motivations from your key relevant to this point in time, in this moment?
Um, I would say helpfulness.
Yeah, I think trying to make sure the rest of your crew doesn't die is a good
Yes.
example for helpfulness. So this is going to be, I'm going to make this is a bit of a harder one. This is, you need 3 successes.
Okay.
And as a reminder, because I didn't bring it up before, because of how well people have been donating, we have an auto success for the whole party. We have 3 rerolls for the party and a second auto success. So wow, if things go real bad, we can change that. But let's see what happens. Let's roll and let's see what we get. Come on, Azura.
Three sixes.
Yeah!
A 1. 3 6s, a 1, and a 5.
Okay, that is enough. You could argue for the edge success, but you don't need to in this instance. You already with what you've rolled. It is there is a moment of like some of the less experienced folk do have a moment like you can see it on their faces right before the mall's about to crash down. Like, oh no, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it, and it's like sharp focus. The moment they see your face, the determination you have, they're like, I trust her. I put my faith in them. Crashes down. There is some initial damage, but there doesn't appear to be like any major holes. Maybe a little bit of equipment is lost, but nothing too serious. First crash has happened. It is now reaching a point where as you're moving through the next big danger, you are seeing cliffs that while you've made it past the initial crash of that maw, the direction it has placed your ship going towards, there are now jutting cliffs and shoals that are coming out of the water. If you do not find your way to either navigate or do something else to get the ship moving in a very different direction very quickly, you are going to crash directly into things.
She's going to run up to the upper deck where the wheel of the ship is and take over from whoever has it at that point. And instruct them to help secure any cargo that's on deck right now since everything's been jostled. I
Okay.
will take the wheel
All
just
right.
like Jesus.
I love Mirm's gesture. I just had to copy it. All right. Roll for that while I recover from Mirm's gesture. Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's 2 6s and a 5. Right? It's 5 and 6
Five-
is success or just okay.
It is, if I'm remembering correctly, yes, 5 and 6 are successes.
So that's
You are just passing it, so that's 3 successes. You
3
needed that again.
successes. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
you needed that for this one. It is so close. You swear that just by just how horrifying all the sounds that are happening all around you, it's gone from complete like quiet and stillness of the ocean to just cacophony of noise. You swear you hear something tearing through and across, but you manage to direct yourself safely out of the way. You know you are almost there. You are almost to the archipelago where they await you, where Augustine awaits. You are so close. There is one more danger that happens. Now, as you're approaching and getting close, it is a matter of trying to make sure you navigate carefully enough that you do not get close to the shoals, to where you don't accidentally end up running into the islands that exist there, because you don't know how suddenly it's going to go from deep to shallow waters. But as this is happening, as this last one is happening, and this is going to be the hardest, you again hear that voice in your head, overwhelming to a certain degree. Do you have the strength to continue on? Do you have the strength to make it through this? The world will still swallow you. Will swallow you. I wish to see
Violet!
Whatever it is, your words aren't reaching out to somebody else. What do you do in this moment? That voice, again, it's just carrying on.
Um, Azura will take a step back from the wheel and sort of just put her palms in her eyes and just like, but I don't know how else to describe this. Is a very like sensory thing for myself personally. It's just like press her heels into her eyes. Not in like a painful way, but in a like trying to erase your thoughts sort of way. And just is like rubbing her eyes with like the heels of her hands and takes like 10 seconds to be like, no, not right now.
And
And we'll open her eyes again.
and amidst all of this, amidst, again, this voice hasn't stopped speaking. It's still going in that long line of like string of unintelligible words. But the feeling that you get during the last string, it's almost like you're hearing someone go, have faith. Have faith.
Azura's gonna mentally take that and take a deep breath in and out, and then place her hands back on the wheel.
This is going to require 4 successes. This is the hardest that a roll can call for right now that I'm willing to feel comfortable doing. You have auto successes saved up if you need them, but what do you think in this moment, the overwhelming noise in your head, the doubt and anxiety that has clouded your mind, the worry, but also knowing that your crew has your back?
I think it's this overwhelming sense of like more than self, which is not necessarily unusual for Azura to think of others maybe before thinking of herself, but she can see in her mind each crew member's face individually and be like, this is Violet and they need me, and this is Seth and he needs me, and this is Jasper.
This is Adrian. This is Marcos. These are your crew. They need you in this moment. Pick your facet, pick your skills, and if any motivations feel appropriate, add those, make your dice pool. You're looking for 4 successes here.
Oh, I think in this moment, she knows that it's going to take a little bit more than just adjusting to the system, but maybe taking a little risk as well. So she is going to use the facet daring and the skill navigation, and was going to use her key recklessness because this may not be successful, but if she doesn't do something, then it's not going to work at all.
That roll, let's see what you get. Oh god, that's either very good or very bad.
I rolled 2 successes and 3 edge successes.
Here's what I'll give you. Here's what I will give you to get all of those successes. 3 people are going to get jettisoned off of the ship.
I don't know that there's an option otherwise.
It is through the noise, through the cacophony. Holy shit. I just looked again at the numbers for raised. We're at 180 of $200 already. The fuck, everybody? Damn. Thank you so much, folks. We are we breaking GM rule. Just damn. Thank you so much for this premiere stream and being here for us with all this. You realize far too late that with all the noise, that the way that the water has been, it's just been churning up and down. It is hidden just how close you got to the shallows, and you are able to prevent it from being entirely destroying the ship, but you are just and the impact. You see Seth just go flying off into the distance back towards the current. You see Marcos trying desperately to hold on to the edge, but slips off. And the last person you see is Violet.
I think as soon as it is safe to let go, and Azura has a moment to realize that this has happened, um, she's gonna try to save them. If this means that she has to jump off the side of the boat herself.
You have to. And you jump off and you try and you are swimming. And there is this horrifying, dawning realization that you're not seeing any of them. That there is a clear moment in which you have lost 3 people who were dedicated to helping you do this path that you went on. And there is a few moments where you feel that anxiety creep up into your head, those doubts, all the voices that you hear in your head on any given day that tell you that you are either not enough, you are not skilled enough, you worry too much, you don't know how to focus, you don't know how to get things done, you don't know what you are doing. You are swimming, and you see almost like a pearl of light in the water down below. And you feel drawn to it. You go, and you go, and you don't notice that you pass by an archway of green granite, a lace so delicate and beautiful of lichen and barnacles, like a subject of art. And as you reach this pearl, you realize that you are actually on what feels like the bottom of the ocean all of a sudden, standing on a massive clamshell. And you turn and you see a figure there, a dress long and elegant, feminine sort of, but this is a big woman. We're just going to start with that and that alone. This is a big woman. Sea anemone and coral dress. Almost basalt ridges darken the water, and curls in the hair, remaining still perfect with patterns of coral keeping them all in place. You have done well. You have arrived, and you have reached me.
I'm mad at you right now.
What do you feel in this anger? What thoughts are going through your head?
Kind of want to punch you in the coral. Sorry. Mirm's laugh made me laugh.
Do so if you wish.
No, it won't make me feel any better.
What did you think would happen when you made your trip here?
I didn't know.
You have sailed the sea for often, for much of your life. This much I know. Are you not unfamiliar with the stories of all those who have made it their home in their final days?
She goes as if she's going to speak, and nothing comes out.
Are you holding back?
Why did it have to be Violet?
There is always risk. You know the sea cares not if you wish for only someone to stay and another to pass.
Just what do I have to do? Here with you?
Answer me this. Do you doubt her faith in you?
Not even a single drop.
And she, in very curious choice of tense, she says now, she does not doubt you. And you see, as the hands raise, there are bubbles, like air bubbles, floating up to the surface, the people who were jettisoned over. You know as well as any who have sailed this sea do that life will change. The currents of life itself will never stay calm and tidy. There will be chaos, there will be turbulence, there will be so much that you cannot handle it. But you must.
You're a real bitch, you know that?
Is that what you truly feel?
No.
Then what do you feel?
Sad and mad and bad and tired and cold, and I'm hungry.
Good. Then I think you are actually ready to receive my blessing.
My God. You know what I mean.
Azura, the first lesson that I give to all those who wish to walk my path, to be mine, is that you cannot be with doubt. Not in the sense that you can ever lack worry, anxiety, or any of it, but you must know, in spite of all that people believe in you, that this world, this life will be chaotic. It will be turbulent, but that you must have the strength to pull together with those who stand by your side. You cannot be ruled by doubt. You cannot carry on and believe only that it is a miracle that you are here. You are the weaver of miracles. You are she who can create the impossible.
Consider it.
Good. I will wait for you whether you care for it or not. I don't have anything else to do. Well, I do have many other things to do. I will have to consider this for a while. But in any case, I believe hunger is the first thing that we can attend to. And there you, again, in very much the same similar way that Caladrinith just kind of ended up back outside of the walls, you end up at the center of the archipelago. There is no turbulent seas around you. There's appears to have been God damn it, Leon got me in chat was saying you could have picked a Legionnaire and had a nice, normal, chill soldier god, but no, you picked Trick Mom, Ocean Weirdo, and Chaos Rock. Well done, folks. I mean, you're not wrong, Leon, but also they would have had like 2-word answers from Gaius, the enduring father. Like, it would be aggravating in a different kind of way. But you find yourself there and you see that everyone is safe. They're all okay. There's no harm. They look waterlogged as shit, but all of them are like you see Violet like standing over you and just sort of kind of doing one of these, but they don't quite understand their own strength. So it's supposed to be just gentle kind of hits, and it's at some point turning into slaps.
Why? What? Why? Why?
Why what? We made it. You got us through it.
Listen, gods are a pain in my ass. Already. At this point, I swear to God, I wasn't crying. If anybody wants to know, I wasn't crying.
Hey, crew! She's alive! And if any of you are wondering, yes, they were crying!
I was not crying specifically.
She interrupts you and shoves a coconut full of fish and coconut cream into your hand.
I might cry over this, though. Smells like heaven. She's like immediately, just like fingers in. Like,
yeah, and it looks as though someone managed, just through all of the turbulence, to keep one tiny little package that they had saved. And it looks as though somehow through all of the waterlogging and all of that mess, someone saved this package that had what appears to be little pieces of like baked pumpkin and a sugar and coconut cream syrup. Like, it was just tightly wrapped up in a bunch of like little like leaves and such, and just managed to make it through all of this bullshit without any trouble.
She'll just, before just like devouring it, just takes a big sniff. Like she's trying to eat it through her nose, almost just like inhaling this, like, so that it is just like embedded into her brain because who knows when something this nice will happen again. So she just like takes in with like every sense before finally
Yeah.
eat it.
And there is a distinct moment as you are just about to take a bite, you hear one last time the voice in your head say, I'll be with you, and I will never doubt you.
See about that. She sort of smiles.
And we move from that, and this one we won't get too far into because we are going to take a break in a few minutes, but transitioning over from those two different scenes happening some time ago over to another part of Amilta, where in one hand we had gloomy, dark, shadowy urban location to navigate, in another a violent, unpleasant currents and out at sea navigating by ship. This time we're starting deep below. We're heading to the coast. And this time we're heading to what immediately anyone feeling this, if you've ever experienced like SoCal on a really bad afternoon when the sun is out to like 120 degrees, and if you've ever also experienced Nevada in a fucking like parking garage where it's 120 degrees but it's like muggy and everything like kind of sticks to you, you're at that level of like the tropics kind of heat. You're starting to approach that level. That's kind of where we find an individual who is trying to figure out what the fuck to do in this place and where to go. Wea, could you please describe yourself and what's going through your head as you're trying to figure out your current location?
Yeah. Wea is like I would say like in between the previous two, so like 5'6", 5'8", something like that. They're absolutely tattooed across their body. Um, like all the way up and down arms, all across their legs. It kind of like comes up their neck a little bit. Um, they have darker skin because obviously this is the tropics and we stay outside all the time, so it's all good. They got long, if their hair was down, it would be long and curly. It's very nice black hair. Um and they have giant circular glasses like you see in like anime where like they're the nerds, but then you look at their body and they're like ripped as shit. So we're just working with a buff nerd on this side. Um so right now, Wea is drawing like circles in the sand to try to figure out like exactly where they were. They're like drawing circles to like emulate trees and like, okay, so I just passed this and then this was supposed to be there, but it's not there anymore. And that's like a haha funny, I guess, from okay. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna do this. I know we're gonna do this. Fuck.
I know so much and none of it is helping me right now.
Yeah.
So, you've been at this for at least a couple hours since the morning started,
Yeah.
and you made some progress, and then you have not made any progress after that. It's right around now that you're trying to figure out, okay, how deep into the tunnels and lava tubes do you need to go?
Yeah.
The answer you're finding is very unfortunate because the answer is deep.
Deep. Deep.
But first, you
Yeah.
need to find the entrance to them.
Yeah. Or do I just dig down, from where I am?
Just keep.
Just go right down to
like-
exactly where I don't know
it's
where
like-
the fuck I
You've reached that point where you're like, I knew at one point, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
How about let's make this to a roll? Let's put this to a roll to see how well things are going.
Incredible.
So let's make it. Let's give this about a. This is an average. This is a 2 success. You are competent. You are
Yeah.
capable. You are already experienced in knowing a lot
Yeah.
about how to navigate this region because it is your home region.
Yeah.
So this will not be exceedingly difficult, but let's see.
Yeah. I'm gonna use adaptability because of
The nature of where you're at.
literally the nature of everything is that's just kind of what it is. And then I'm gonna use my navigation skill
All
with
right.
that. And then I would like to use my control key to see if I can take control of the situation.
That's right. Because right now, Weya is currently embodying the Rugrats meme of like, Stu, why are you making chocolate pudding at 3 a.m. in the morning? I've lost control of my life. That's kind
Yeah.
of the energy you have right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see if we can fix that.
Exactly. Okay. Okay, I gotta re-roll one of those. Okay, so that's of two. Never mind. That's two successes.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Excellent. So let's see. 1, 5, 9, 6. Okay. So you had a lot of doubt up to this moment. You're like, okay, you do the equivalent to yourself, like of internal talk, of like of all things I'm gonna mention. It's the meme of a person like pointing at themselves, looking in a mirror, being like, "You are competent. You are a badass bitch. You know what to do. You will do this. You got this."
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, wait. I recognize some of the flora around here,
Hmm.
the vegetation. You notice that you are very, very close to almost touching a very bright and colorful looking bit of flowers that you very quickly realize, oh, that's a highly like poisonous like variety that most people touch because they're like, that's pretty, dead. And you're like, wait, that flower is only known to grow in a certain specific subset of the area.
Yeah.
So you begin to pull out a map
Hmm.
that you know this is the exact map I need to get me to the entrance to where the most recent sighting of the lava tube openings
Yeah.
are. And it's right about at this moment that as you are pulling the map out and you are taking a look at it, you see a small tail wrap around said map and take it. And you see perched up on your other shoulder, there's a small little monkey.
Uh, my first reaction is just to like grab for it.
Just hops onto the ground.
Okay. I'm talking to the monkey. I'm
Okay.
alone right now.
You're alone right now. There's
no one can
nobody else.
hear
There's
me.
just this monkey.
All right. I'm gonna trust you. Wait, do I trust the monkey? Okay, I'm gonna trust you for a second, and you took the map because you know where the fuck we're going.
Halfway through you saying this, the monkey starts scampering away with the only map you're aware of to get you to where you need to go.
I follow the monkey because I believe that the monkey is showing me the way.
And with this monkey chase in order, that is where we're going to take a break. As our buff nerd going through the tropics is trying to find a damn monkey that has stolen their map. So, thank you everybody who's been tuning in. Just as a note, we are at $300 already. Like, what the fuck, everybody?
Yeah, get
Like,
it.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Like, thank you so much for not just tuning in to the stream, because we have had a really consistent amount of people watching, but oh my God, thank you so much for all the donations that are so needed right now. We will come back in about 10 minutes and we will keep this going as we deal with monkey escapades, which are some of my favorite kind of escapades in the world. We will see you soon, everybody.
Monkey.
Hello again there, everybody. Now, have you all been good? Have you used the bathroom? Have you taken your meds? If you haven't taken your meds, go take them. That's an attack on everybody, including my cast and myself, so enjoy that. But most importantly, um, hello there, fantastic viewers who, it took me a second. Yeah, I know, Leon, it happens. You got us viewers to $300 already on our first episode, which is absurd. Thank you, everyone. We have our cast now has a whole pool of resources to make use of should they need them. But good God, yeah, damn. I am floored and very touched, and it means so much, everybody, for being there for the members of our community who need it most during these times. And we are going to keep this train a rolling with moving back into the sweltering, humid, sticky, unfortunate scenario of just trying to chase down a small, mischievous monkey that has taken their map, the one map that they have to get them to where they need to go.
Yeah.
So, you are chasing this monkey and you are getting through all of this without too much trouble. But you find that as you are getting through all of this and you are finding yourself like running, you start to see in the distance, what is that weird shape coming towards you? Oh God, that is a swarm of insects.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Okay.
And oh, this is a variety of mosquito that you are very well aware is it's a little hard to tell from this distance which variety it is. It's one of two varieties. One that if it stings you, it leaves a small welt for like a couple of days, or the one that leaves you sick for about 3 weeks. It's a little hard to tell at this distance. What do
In
you do?
I look for anything that is shelter around that gets me out of their line of sight.
You immediately like find a small little like cubby, just almost like the opening to a small cavern right nearby, and it is so close. You are like hiding against it, doing big energy of like like, do they notice me? And you just hear just it goes by. It's like if anyone knows what a murmuration is of birds, where birds, whenever they flock together, there's occasions where certain flocks of birds will create almost like a massive silhouette from just how many of them have like flocked together to fly. That's kind of what all the insects had made as they were going through this portion of the tropics that you're in. And you realize you just dodged the proverbial bullet right there.
Yeah. Um, I know a little bit about my deity, correct?
A little bit, yes.
Incredible. So in my head, I'm like thinking about like, would would they pull a stunt like this? And I like look deeper into the cave to see if it goes anywhere.
As you go in, you it's a very different kind of heat that you feel emanating out of it. It's the simplest and most relatable one. Oh my God, we just got another $50 donation. What the fuck, donators? What is going on? Christ. Anyways, you have it's that sensation of if you ever open the oven up when something's been baking for a while and you feel that intense rush of heat that just like washes over you. It's that one, but it's more like a blanket that's just like pressing over you. And it's stuffy, it's overwhelming. It's but it's probably the clearest sign you have that you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. My mind jumps to times with my family since we've lived in this area for forever. And I just go further into it. I like take off every piece of clothing that I don't need on, and I stuff it into my pack, and I just trudge forward.
It is so unbearably hot in here. You feel a deep sense that this might take you a bit, and you are going to need to check your supplies real quick to make sure. Are you all set? Have you gone over everything? You're going through it, and you have enough water to last you maybe another day or two right now, just from your supplies, at least last time you checked.
Yeah.
So far, moving into it, it feels okay. But there's moments where the tunnel almost seems to get thinner and close in a bit. You still have like maybe an inch or two of height above you, but it's a lot less room than the like foot or so you had before when you entered this place.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hearing, it sounds like the faintest sound of sizzling, of just slunk, slunk. Like something is sizzling, and then you're hearing like little thunks happening as well. What do you do?
My first instinct is to get as far away from that as possible, but knowing who I'm looking for, I just kind of bite my tongue and go towards that noise.
It's as you're moving towards this noise, this sensation that it gets louder and louder, that slink, slink. And then you realize as you walk into a much like more open and wide room, domed in appearance, bits of what appear to be almost like red crystal just covering the walls and the ceiling and the ground. You realize you can see now what that sound was. It was small little bits of molten stone beginning to push their way out of the ground. Almost like this path might lead you forward, but you don't have a lot of time to get through this room.
Knowing that, I take my pack from my back, and put it to my front, and I run through the room.
It's right around this time as you begin trying to run through the room where your foot hits something and you feel it drop a little bit, like your foot sinks in. And as you're pulling your foot out, you have two horrifying realizations at the same time. Number one, when you look back to see the entrance where the path was, a massive molten stone has just emerged out of the ground and blocked your way back. And as you pull your foot out, you see in the hole left by it, something is rising up out of the ground. Something is bubbling and slowly making its way up.
Yeah. Um, I'd like to try to call the deity. Um, very um very in a secular way. Just like, hey, it's me. You know I'm coming for you. And I need you to let me, get my foot out. You know, I think we're gonna have a great give and take relationship, but I think I need this foot right now. and then we'll talk later.
You're having big hi Zuko here energy happening
Yeah,
right now.
absolutely. Absolutely. Zuko here. In the middle of fire as well. So,
In the middle of fire.
yeah.
You know what? I want you to roll for me. This is
Okay.
a matter. I'm gonna flavor this as you may choose whichever approach you want, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
say overall, if it's okay with you, the purpose is to convince. You
Yeah.
may choose whichever approach in your word choice that you feel works with the facets to convey this, that you're trying to convince. And I literally had to stop myself from giving you an automatic die because of the cat. I will not
Yeah.
do it. I will not be convinced by Fluffy
Yeah.
yet.
I feel like because of the language that I'm using, I want to use daring.
You know what? I think it works. You're trying to
Yeah.
convince a god of chaos to chill out just for a second. By the way, I think you need me. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Anyways,
So
okay.
you know what it is.
Yeah. And then I want to use my survival skill.
Yes, because this is very much like, do
Yeah,
you appeal to a power that is far stronger than you?
exactly. And then it very literally my freedom key.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually, yes, because
incredible.
you need to survive.
Yeah.
So let's roll with that. I'm gonna say this is a 3. You
Okay.
need 3 successes to get through this.
Okay. Please, please. Um Oh man, that's a lot of threes and twos.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a success and an edge success. I only had
Okay.
two.
If you want to make it through this and not roll with the failure, you can make use of the auto successes or the rerolls that we have, which we have 4 auto successes and 3 rerolls available.
So if I re-roll, am I re-rolling all of my dice?
You're rerolling 1 die.
One,
That's why it's a low donation reward. It's just a
got
reroll
it.
for a die.
Understood, understood. Um, I want to be the first person to use an auto success.
Okay. So that would
Yeah.
give you so you said you had so that would put you at 2 successes, 2 full successes and 1 edge success?
Yes.
Okay. Tell you what, let me ask you this question. Does Weya have a very treasured item on their person?
Yes. They have a lot of siblings, as many of the coastal families do and island families do. And the youngest of the family, their little sibling, drew them a cute little picture, wishing them good luck on this journey. And it is in their pack.
If you want to get out of here and you want to be convincing as you're trying to lift your foot out, it is going to fall out of the bag and it will delay you and put you at risk for falling behind and dealing with having a more direct experience and confrontation with what you are now seeing as bubbling lava coming up from underneath you.
Yes. There's a second that Wea thinks that like there's like a chance that like shifting weight and then just like snagging it and running and trying to run would work, but it just they love their sibling, but they want to see their sibling again.
As you look down just for a passing moment looking back, you see just that the cutest little picture being done just bursts into flame, and you know this is not feeling like some sort of divine test or anything. This is a place that is dangerous, that one wrong step here and you are crushed or just burned to shreds. You keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Keep moving through. You get through this room and you see that there's a split in the road. There's 3 possible tunnels you could go down. One to your left, one to your right, and one forward. Which do you choose?
Which one is emitting the most heat?
Center path right in front of you.
I take the center path.
You go through it, and as you're moving through, you now have to go with a bit more caution because every now and then you're hearing and feeling the sensation just barely missing you of like steam vents emanating out bits of heat that you know if you are anywhere too close to it, it is going to scald your skin.
Mm-hmm.
You keep moving forward, and you come upon one more room, not as big as the previous one, but you see within it. The front half, you would have to guess, looks like living molten rock. That it appears to have taken on the shape of a kind of elemental entity. And the back of it looks like a gastropod, like think like the kinds of like ancient fossilized trilobite kind of things,
Mm-hmm.
just like it seems to drag itself along the ground with its either its two front feet or the back little mass that it has with it looks almost like an iron sulfite like shell
Mm-hmm.
surrounding it. Right now it does not appear awake. What do you do?
I'd like to check for an exit first.
There appears to be an exit right past it, but there is no way to get through this room without going by it.
Yeah. And then what is happening behind me?
You're feeling the steam vents, they're happening more rapidly.
Okay.
And now it's if you choose to go back, you have a split second right now to think
Yeah.
about
Okay.
it. You have to make a choice. Are you going to go back or are you going to try and get past this?
Yeah. I'm gonna take my water pouch from my bag. I'm gonna take it out, kind of acting as a steam explosive, if I need to, if the thing wakes up as I try to get past it as quietly as possible.
Okay. I would like you to do another roll for me to get past this thing safely. Success of 3 is what you need. You need 3.
Okay. Uh, um, I feel like subtlety is what I have to do here.
It's just how do you think Wea would approach this problem in this instance? Oh, never think
Where,
about what you have to do. Just how
yeah,
do you think Wea would approach this in this
yeah,
instant? Even if it's not their best thing,
yeah.
what do you think they would do?
Where would try to like time out the steam because steam makes a lot of noise, and trying to take steps as steam happens. So I
Smart.
want to use adaptability for that
I like that.
because yeah,
That
I'm
is a great argument for adaptability.
incredible. And then survival, 'cause I'm trying to
This
survive.
is the definition of a survival.
Yeah.
Of please do not eat me, giant fire elemental thing.
What else do I have here?
If you have a
Oh,
motive that feels appropriate that you haven't already used.
I don't think I do because I've already lost the piece of my family behind me already, so and family is one of them, but yeah, I'm going to roll what I have.
All right, let's see it.
Said 3.
3.
Good.
I promise this isn't impossible. I am trying to make these doable.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I have 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Are any of the remaining ones an edge success?
No, I have 2 twos.
You can, because if you used 1 auto success, so there are 3 left. So if you use another one, there will be 2 auto successes left.
Yeah.
Okay. You do this.
Yeah.
The most like Scooby Doo like moment that has ever existed. just you have a distinct moment where like one step accidentally almost starts to sink again. You think your foot has almost fallen through, and it's timed just a little bit after a vent, and you hear this thing just. But it like you have deep well of fear as you have that sensation of seeing it open its eye and look at you, but it does the thing where like when someone like talks to you and you're barely awake and you're like, huh? Yeah, 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 I'll do that. Goes back to sleep.
Nice.
Have the like kind of moment. Scooby Doo
Yeah.
walk right by it. And despite literally having your map stolen, despite going facing lava, despite seeing a massive thing that could in one bite swallow you whole, you arrive in a chamber. No light within it except for an enormous wine red crystal emanating in the center of it.
I recognize the power that exists and also the omnipotence and, like the honor that is required to like be in the presence of this deity. So I give a slight like bow. Um, but then as soon as I come up, I'm like, so my leg was stuck and I didn't feel you at all. It was like, I wasn't there. Like, where were you?
You don't seem to have an answer.
Um, I walk up very carefully, um, keeping watch of my like where my feet are being placed as I walk. And get within touching distance to the crystal. Um, and I put my hand out without touching it and say, I've never been taught that you have been a deity that requires reverence. And I don't feel like I should show it to you now, but I will do what I have to for this to be a successful pilgrimage.
Once again, there is no reply. To be clear, you have not touched the crystal yet, correct?
No, I
Okay,
haven't.
just double checking.
Um, I keep my hand is like within a few probably inches of it. Um, so then um reverence is given to those that give. And you are not much of a giver and you take things away. So this is your last chance before I try to take something from you. And I stand my ground and I still am within reaching distance, but I don't touch the crystal.
Few minutes pass. There is no reply again.
I examine the crystal for anything that looks like it is jutting out for me to grasp and try to pull off.
There is one fragment that seems to be like clinging at an odd angle. If you give it enough force, you could probably break a chunk off of it.
Yeah, I attempt to do that.
The moment that you do, you have two things happen. Number one, you have this experience of being pulled out of your body, your sense of consciousness being removed from where you are now to finding yourself almost spectating, watching a scene of someone you do not recognize who this person is, quaint, relatively frail in frame, but almost like on the ground in a prostrating themselves almost in like a position of prayer. Uh, probably the position's a little bit closer to sort of the way that Muslims sort of do the prayer forward.
Mhm.
Is it's closer in body language to what it is, and in doing so, you see that there is a cataclysmic tidal wave coming towards the coast. It is about to bear down on you, and you see it is like a massive wave of coral rises up from out of the ground and the sea, and it seems to hold back the wave. And you experience this memory. And as you come back into consciousness and you open your eyes, you see just no more than a couple feet away from you that massive half crocodile, half gastropod like entity, like slowly opening its jaws like it's about to swallow you whole.
I jump backwards.
This very deep booming voice just comes out of the crocodile. Oh, you'll have to forgive me. It's been a long time since I've had someone arrive.
Oh, uh, okay. This is very casual.
It is. Hello.
Hi.
I did
Uh,
answer. It did take me a little bit.
is it because you were sleeping?
Yes, I was taking a nap. Don't really answer people when you're taking a nap, do you?
I mean, I'm the eldest of like 9,
Oh,
so I have
my
to,
my
you
kin
know.
very much are the same. They're expecting something. They always say it doesn't want to get in the way, get up. It doesn't want to enjoy itself, but they are always forcing me to get up at a time I don't want to.
Do you do you want to go back and take
Oh,
a
no, no, no. You're far
Oh,
more entertaining than just whatever I was dreaming.
oh, were you dreaming of a giant tidal wave?
Yes.
Oh, that's I feel like I should be honest with you. I
I
feel
prefer it, to be honest. I prefer it if you were.
okay. I touched your crystal and then I saw a tidal wave and then you're you're like the rock one. So like the tidal wave was coming and then it wasn't the rock, it was the coral, but like sometimes coral can be like seen, because it like attaches to rock, but like it's kind of different. I'm gonna shut up now.
Once again, this figure is still this is a massive fucking fire elemental gator gastropod is just laughing its ass off at you. Just sort of like, nerd, you're thinking about this way too much.
I mean, I was just thinking about it because you don't control coral. There's like that other one that does like the coral stuff. Um, you're
To
not
be,
coral.
if we're going to be technical in this sense, my kin is a little bit more of the lichen kind of route. I'm a little bit more of the crystal and lava and those sorts of things. We both have
Yeah.
coral in the overlap, but
Okay.
I'm never really one to decorate my own hair. I don't really like having hair. I don't really like looking like a person. I don't understand why anyone would want to be a person. You have two limbs, you have two arms. Why wouldn't you be something? Oh, wait, right. None of you can actually change into something else. Well, I suppose
No.
that explains it.
Yeah, I mean, I can change. So I have tattoos so that, I can change as much as I can, but
Oh, may I see your tattoos?
absolutely. And then, like, just kind of,
Amazing, stupendous. I hope that whoever has put those on your form has knows that they are blessed at their work. There are
I
none better than I currently know of.
I feel like you don't know any, but I will be happy to
That's
pass
fair.
that.
I don't.
I will be happy to pass that along to my cousin who did all my tattoos.
Fantastic.
Yeah. This is, I feel weird. I don't know about you, but this is weird.
Oh, this is quite normal for me, but I imagine that you
Oh,
were expecting something a bit with much more presence and pomp and circumstance and such.
yeah, and reverence and
Why would I ask you
know,
reverence? I'm a rock, or sometimes a gator, or sometimes not, or sometimes all.
are you are you ever a monkey?
Oh no, that's just one of the monkeys that likes to enjoy taking things from around here.
Incredible. I'm gonna have to make a new map. I'd love that. I'd love that. Anyway, sorry. My own problems, not yours.
Well, in a
Uh
matter of speaking, they are also mine now.
oh, so this is
We're
happening?
bonding here, is what I believe that you like to call this. This is bonding.
I guess. I just, I just this is so fun. Okay. I don't know what to do with myself. This is great.
Oh,
This is
neither do
great.
I. That's why I just change my form all the time. You think I like being any singular form or having to focus on any one thing at a time? It sounds horrifying. People who focus for a certain given thing for extended periods of time? I don't understand it. Why would you do this?
I definitely do that. But that's not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is that you are now my deity and I get to
Yes.
oh, wow. This is wow. Yeah, I imagine this going so much more different. I don't know. I was kind of expecting to lose a limb at some point,
I can still
but
help you with that if you would prefer, if that would put
no,
you at ease.
no. I'm actually so good. I almost lost my foot in one of the many lava tunnels, but we're
Ah,
good now.
yes. Ah, yes. I did put those in Tuesday.
Oh, so all of this changed on Tuesday?
Or was it Wednesday? Or was it 2 hours ago? I don't remember, to be honest.
Me,
I don't keep track of those kinds of things.
yeah, I have to. It's not a great time, but also having a casual conversation with a god just kind of seems weird. So this is,
Well,
uh,
well, are you certain that I have not brought you into some sort of liminal space in which your consciousness has been divorced from your body after it's suffered its own little untimely death, and I'm going to revive you?
I'm not connected to my body right now.
No, you are. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. This is what I was more expecting when I first met you. Not the casual conversation, oh, we're bonding, this is fun, I like it, you know? I was expecting more fuckery and yeah,
What, what,
losing a limb.
what more fuckery could I give you than making you go into a literal labyrinth of lava tunnels that had a fire elemental beast in it, and also causing you to lose a perfectly good picture of that your family member made you? By the way, here it is.
Oh my God. I stuff it in my bucket. Huh. There's so many things that's going in my brain, but I feel like you can read my
Oh, there's so
mind.
many of mine as well.
Yeah. So we'll just leave it at that. And
Fair enough.
what what do I need to do to gain access to whatever you give people?
You have it.
What? What do you mean? I don't feel any
You
different. This is weird.
are you convinced that faith has to be something extravagant, that you always go to one specific building routinely and recreationally for endless periods amount of your time, do a whole series of certain gestures in order to profess a certain kind of faith in order to do that? No, faith is everywhere. Faith is anything and everything that you needed to be and wanted to be. If you would like to give reverence to me, I am more than happy to accept that. If you don't want to, I don't care. But the point of faith to me is not about trying to hold on complete certainty and faith in anything. It's to keep not trusting and therefore finding the things that actually matter to trust.
Huh.
If you believe in me, that's fine. If you don't believe in me, that's fine as well. The faith is not in the having an actual tangible thing. The point is in the doing. It is in the having the faith. It is in the seeking of the faith that one finds what they need. And obviously, you found proof of many different things on this. You're sensible, you're reckless, and you're willing to still care about to jettison certain things that matter to you if it does mean that you're willing to accomplish something, which, depending on how you like to good in it, is all good or all bad. I'm not the one who decides that, though. You decide that. Or else, what would be the point of being your deity? I'm not supposed to tell you what to do. I'm supposed to give you possibilities, give you more opportunities. You are the one who creates that faith. You are the one who creates the path that you will walk. Why do you think this place changes all the time? Everyone has to make their own path, not me. Otherwise I would be no better than a demon trying to play a trick on you.
You know, some people do think that you're a demon.
Oh, that's perfectly
Some
fine.
people back in the village. Not a good time.
They're more than willing to believe that if they want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had my, stipulations and preconceived notions of what this would be. And routine is good. I like routine. Sticking to routines is good for my brain. But then venturing out and figuring out how this is gonna work, I think will be a good time. I think. Seem. I feel like I can just like. I mean this so okay, like I feel like I could just like call you like a dad, and just be like, hey, I need help, and then you're like,
Yes.
hey, I'm busy right now, or hey, you don't need my
Yes.
help. Just think about it for a second, you know?
Oh, that's perfectly fine. People have called me the Coral Father before. I don't know why they always choose to gender me in some particular capacity. I'm never quite fond of it, if I'm being honest. Prefer to
Yeah.
float sort of ambiguous, like some sort of wibbly wobbly moss and coral, like conglomerate of different kind of stuff.
Hmm. Okay.
But if you would like me to be a father, I can be. If you'd like me to be a mother, I can be. If you'd like me to be a spouse or a sibling or anything of that sort, I'm happy to be those sort of things. I don't care either way. You're
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah. I'm good on most of what you just said, but you know,
Oh, good.
we'll we'll develop this as we go. We'll figure it out.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Now comes the most pressing question of my brain. Because I'm not dead,
Yes.
right? I would
Nope.
just want to double check with you. Okay, great. I'm not dead. How do I get out?
You're
I'm
already
not.
out.
What? We're in a cave.
Oh dear. Do you truly think I was going to keep you in here this entire time for this conversation? It can get stuffy in a cave. And you turn and look, and much like the other two who've gone through an experience of just being teleported somewhere else they don't understand, you are outside in the middle, like on a clearing in the middle of the tropics. It's still muggy, it's still hot, but there's a lot more clear path and potential ways you can go now.
Oh, oh. Thank you. I think you can hear me, but yeah. Okay. Great. Okay.
Truly,
Book.
my dear, I will be here for you should you ever need me. That much I can guarantee you, for
Huh.
you are both kind of entertaining, but you also seem like, I don't know, you could use another friend.
I don't know if I should feel offended that the deity that I now worship called me lonely.
I didn't say you were lonely. I just said you could use another friend. Even people who have lots of friends could use another friend. I can use another friend, and I talk to people all the time.
Yeah, but you know things about me, and you already know that I don't have very many friends.
Because I listen, I pay attention.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I-
seem like it, but do I need to look like I'm paying attention to actually listen to you? Plenty of people try and talk all the time and hear you, but do they actually listen to you?
You know, 90% of the time, I don't think people listen to me, so that checks. That
It's
tracks.
unfortunate. You're fascinating.
To other people, not so much. I'm just kind of the village weirdo. It's just
Good.
okay, I guess.
Good. I've had people try and gain my favor by offering me weird bits of meat that I'd never had any interest in. They keep trying to offer me a shank of meat and make because it's an animal. They're certain it's an animal, or it's an animal that they think might be me, and as a result, that they can win my favor with just a piece of meat instead of talking to me.
Oh,
You don't need to treat me with pomp and circumstance. Just talk to me.
oh,
I'm here like any other being is in this world. I just happen to have phenomena, cosmic power, sort of things.
yeah, yeah. So I can just like call you up whenever I want.
Hmm.
Oh,
My power is with you now.
huh. That's cool. Huh. It's truly not how I thought today was gonna go. And now I have so many stories to tell my siblings.
I wish you well with your siblings.
Thank you.
By the way, I want to note this entire time you've been talking, it is still, even in the midst of the forest, the giant molten
Yeah.
crocodile just
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah. In
And
their
then,
heart, they're like, this is cool. In their brain is like, you gotta fucking run away. Why are we talking? You gotta make sure you're safe. Let's go. And I was just like, no. I think we're okay. I
like,
think.
well, I wish you well on your path. I'm certain you'll be meeting with other people who share some interests with you soon enough.
Yeah. Um, uh, you know, I one last question before you go. To your
Mm-hmm.
nap, wherever you have to go. Is there anything you need me to do for you? That is within my realm of I can actually do it. Not a lot I can do, but there's some things I can do.
Don't expect so much of yourself. Not other people are letting you down, not you letting them down. Just sort of, and says that very like plainly and
Yeah.
absolutely, and then just crocodile walks away, and you just faintly hear as it's going away, just going dum 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 dum. It's just fucking like Banjo Kazooie music playing
Hell
in the
yeah.
background.
Hell yeah. It didn't give me anything to do.
It didn't give you anything. It's just don't be so hard on yourself. And it says this almost like it knows you are all the time.
Yeah.
Like with the moment you said the like I'm the village weirdo thing, you just got this strange sense from it that it was like, oh no, people are expecting way too much of you. They're expecting you to be a way that you aren't, and it doesn't want that from you. It doesn't need you to do all that. Just treat it like it wants to be treated. You didn't think it was that weird that it's just a random fucking crocodile thing.
Yeah. I read the legends, but I was like, wow. I didn't think it would be so literal, you know?
Hmm.
Huh.
And it is. And it's on that moment that like just kind of left in the middle again in the tropics where you're going to have to find out how to get back, but it seems much easier now. Like you have a stronger sense of where to go and your sense of direction's a bit more improved than it was. And as you start making your way, we turn to a short time afterwards, maybe the span of a few weeks, maybe a few months. You've all had time to consider the starts of your relationships with your respective deities. You've all felt the pull towards them in one way or another. But we find ourselves shifting some distance away to now the southeast coast, to an area where half of it is taken up by a waterfront, a massive shipping hub that pretty much has taken root here. Engineers and inventors exist from all around the world. Many different communities who pretty much are from everywhere but here have taken home here. And every spot is home to someone who was once considered at one point, well, at least every community has a spot that has someone who maybe at one point in time was what you might call a noble, but not really a thing that matters as much these days. And in a small little inn, break of dawn, we find ourselves in Stageport. As we are approaching the ending point of this session, I just want to establish who we would be meeting and what your relationships are to each other right now. As the morning arrives, it's a small little established inn. We'll call it, let's just give it the name, the Raven's Gaze. Gaze, not Gays, before anyone gets...
Oh, that was my immediate assumption, but okay.
Absolutely. The queerest
would you-
inn in all the land.
Yeah.
I
Find
will
these
say,
three.
I will say the proprietor of this place is a woman who very much is, if you could have like a middle-aged goth but make it fantasy, she has like severe looking like eyeliner style makeup, very pale skin, but you can tell just once you look at close to the neckline where it hasn't been powdered sufficiently that her skin is much more of a deeper reddish hue and tone to it, and with a bits more of brown and warm. But the individual has like the most, we're gonna go with the Cure style 80s goth haircut, but it's unclear where in this world Aquanet or Hairspray would have been derived from, but somehow it's being done. Probably coconut oil or some other things.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm saying it out loud and then I'm like, oh no way, it's probably coconut oil. Coconut has a lot of multi-purpose use, but this individual is just sort of stopping by and doing like a loud thunk on each of your doors. Although I will say, does your group sleep all together in one room? Do you have 3 separate rooms, or do you sleep in different beds?
I mean, I definitely would try to get my own bed. Um,
There is room. It is your arrangement whether or not. Keladrinus has their own room. You just hear a
It
loud
doesn't have to be my
thunk.
own room. It's just that I think that, yeah, Keladronith would get their own
Their own
bed
bed.
at the very least.
Okay, so, and Azura?
I think Azura is so used to sleeping in stacked quarters on a ship that it's like, I don't care. I'll sleep under the bed if you need me to, like wherever you want to put me. Like it's fine. Like she could fall asleep probably just leaning against the wall and would be okay.
And Wea, where are you sleeping?
Wea carries around like a sleeping bag and like a pillow. And so it's just on the floor just like sleeping kind of like the corner closest to the bed because like Wes lived most of like the tracking adult life by themselves. So they're like, I have to try to like be friends, but I also need my alone time. I'm just gonna like be in the corner. I'll be like near you, but my back will be to you. And then I will turn around and then we'll start the day.
You detect coming through, whether it's the windows or just the kitchen somewhere nearby, maybe just downstairs. This establishment is not massive, but it does have 2 floors with a few different rooms on each floor. It's the distinct smell of coconut milk, papaya, and bits of coconut flakes, as there is a sort of porridge being cooked downstairs. And that you also hear the sound of like frying things, of like heavy, heavy bits of what, if you go downstairs, will discover are the equivalent of almost like pancake balls being rolled up and
Mm.
fried into from dough.
Yeah.
And the morning has arrived, folks.
Is breakfast included at this inn?
Yes.
Okay, like, because
I'm making it as a rule of world building, regardless if it's someone else's rule. I'm never making you pay for breakfast.
okay, I
That
mean,
is a
I'm just
travesty.
yeah, okay. So in that case, okay, it's just I just feel like my hometown would be the kind of would like be full of the kind of people who would try to make me pay for breakfast, and so I'm like
Yes. Your
suspicious.
hometown, maybe, not here.
Yeah, I mean, my
Has
hometown
enough
is
people from
terrible,
other
so
places.
Yeah.
okay, okay. Well, in that case, breakfast does sound good.
You will find that Wea's bedroll is empty by the time that you get up.
Okay, um, I mean, is this a regular occurrence or like is it just today that it's empty?
Um, it's not regular, but it's not uncommon.
Okay, I mean, do you just get up early? Like, is that it?
Yeah, for various reasons. Whether it's like check the area, I feel like my siblings are yelling at me, but they're now like hundreds of miles away from me. And then in this case, as soon as I heard someone starting to cook, I felt the need to go and help.
Okay, yeah.
I think Azura's probably still in there, like leaned up against the wall, hat over face. Like there's like a picture sitting next to her, and it's like, mm, ugh. She does not want to get up. This is like the most sleep she's been able to get at like one time over these last few weeks. Um, so it was like, I don't, I don't wanna, I don't
But
wanna.
but don't you want breakfast?
Yes, I do. It smells delicious.
How about we
Again.
get breakfast and then you can come back to bed if you want to?
Oh, that
I
just sounds like
I say, knowing full well
everything.
you won't go back to bed.
Yeah.
I kick open the door and I'm like, oh wait, why are you all still sleeping? We have food in the downstairs. Let's go. Bro, come on. And I like go
Ugh.
over and I attempt to pick up Azura because I know that they're just like nodded in the morning. And I'm kind of strong. I'm not strong. I'm not that strong, but I still attempt to be like, all right, it's fresh. It's good. I've eaten some already, but that's beside the point.
I mean,
Uh,
I think I'm already dressed by this point, but I'll watch you do that. I don't have any
Yeah.
strength.
Azura's already wearing clothes because why wouldn't you just sleep in your clothes? So, she will she'll braid the side of her hair that has hair. She'll braid it sort of back into just like a braid. And then she'll have had like a kerchief on her face and then the hats to keep maximum darkness in. So she'll tie that and slap her hat on her head and then take the picture that's on the floor next to her and she'll slip it into her back pocket and she's like, fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
It's
all
free. You
just
didn't have to
fine.
cook anything. Do you cook?
I do.
Ah, nice.
Yes. Okay. Jeez Louise.
I'm trying to get to know you. We barely know each other.
I've been awake for approximately 45 seconds. I would love to get to know you in about 45 minutes. Okay, just
Okay.
give me
Do you
a
want some
little
cocoa?
bit.
I
It's
got
it's
some
a
cocoa.
it's about
I
this time that you also all start smelling the distinct scent of garlic being fried alongside some rice and
Oh,
some eggs.
Oh no, that scent always makes you hungry. That
oh
always
God.
gets you.
Yeah. You can
It's
hear Azura's stomach like,
I'm imagining the fucking like cartoon thing of like the steam going and just like gently lifting you
Yeah, and
up
you're
out
just
yes.
of
like,
bed.
Yep,
And
that would be Azura. Absolutely
and
100%.
as you are all heading downstairs, getting ready to convene for breakfast, you take note of the other door to the room right next to you, where your fourth party member is slowly but surely arising for the day. And as you all begin to head down, or whichever one of you chooses to wait for her to awaken, we are going to call that the end of our first session from Earth Do We Rise for Fragments of Loss, our Rangers of a Broken World series here. As next week we are going to have Gena back, and we will get to do a little flashback and introduction with her character so that we can have the whole story of the group fully cemented for everyone. Holy shit, folks. Thank you so much for all of the people who've been here for the entire stream. We raised $350 in one session.
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Thank you
It's
before
amazing.
Dax yells at me of anything for not accepting love. I said thank you. Now leave me alone. And also thank you to Leon McDonald for not only joining us for this. I hope he's able to keep being here for more, but I'm just so glad you got to see an exposure of how we are doing a take on this. This is a very full disclosure BIPOC, and I will say specifically it is a lot of Filipino, Mexican, Bolivian, and Samoan influences, not in just cuisine, but in different practices for the areas based off of the lore and work that has been built by Leon. We are building off of that and incorporating our own different influences from our lives into this. And food wise, I'm just gonna, if I don't leave my players wanting to have food after a session, I've
So
failed.
hungry.
Yeah, like I
So
already
Good.
ate dinner
hungry.
and I'm just like, fuck me. Like I
I
have fried
can't.
rice in the
Yes.
fridge too. Like
I
I could just
literally
go down. There's nothing
cannot get
stopping.
Samoan food around here.
Yeah.
And you're talking about oka, you're talking about soy. I was like, suddenly,
Yeah, I knew the minute
suddenly.
that I talked about that porridge, I was just like, "Oh, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to fucking butcher it and be an
Hey, you're good.
insult." But I'm also like, I know what's gonna happen to Mirm, and I have no regrets.
Oh,
I
I'm
just
so
want
hungry
it.
now.
There's
but
no
on
taro in Wisconsin.
but on that note, everybody, we're gonna do quick outros for everyone. Again, it is just say who you are, who you've been playing, and just one quick thing, some sort of project or ongoing thing we can catch you in. And after we do all that, Mayor will get on, give a quick little rundown of just stuff to look forward to on the channel, and then we'll start. I will start closing out this session because God, this has already been a fantastic start. So I'm going to start with Amber.
Hi, my name is Amber. I use she, they pronouns, and I've been playing Azura, who uses she, they pronouns. She is a title navigator. I do have my own channel over on Twitch at twitch.tv/analog_Amber, where we do a lot of community-based and charity-based initiatives over there. And I just released, soft released today, the Virtual Museum of Voices in Gaming, where I am going to be sharing joyful stories of all sorts of diverse people in gaming. And if you're interested in things like that, I would love for you to come check it out.
Fantastic. And next up, Mirm.
Hi everybody, my name is Mirm. I use she, they pronouns, and I've been playing Wea, who uses they, them pronouns. They are a volcanic tracker and chaotic, just like their deity. And I love them. I love it. I have two things that I'm working on right now. That is on Twitch. On Friday, I'm starting a Wildheim campaign on the Nerds with Dice channel. And I'm playing a 7-foot bear woman. So I saw all the love for the big
I'm
women in chat, so
I'm
if you want to come over,
interested. You have my
yeah.
attention.
Yeah, follow me on Blue Sky. I will be dropping everything when we go live. And then next week is the first part to a finale for a charity stream that I'm doing on the Meadowlark channel, where I'm playing Star Wars 5e, and I play a Twi'lek that just got kidnapped. So we're good. We're fine. Everything's fine, probably. And we're also raising money for Gender Alchemy, which is a charity for trans and LGBTQ plus people in the Fresno area. So go over there and help us raise money over there. Thanks.
Fantastic. Next up, the incomparable Sebastian.
Yeah, hello, I'm Sebastian. I use they them pronouns. I've been playing Keldrineth, who also uses they them pronouns, the beckoning infiltrator. Uh I you can find me on Roads Uncharted if you enjoy my performances. I play a very, similarly roguish scoundrel type character. I just pretended to be my boss's boss, except that I like the boss is like a villain, and that's a bit of a problem, but it'll be fine. Also, likewise, we'll be so fine. Yeah. New episodes drop every Friday evening.
Fantastic. And hello there, everyone. Again, my name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, they pronouns. And I have been your conductor for all of these escapades that have only just begun. There are even more that will most certainly happen. If you want to catch any of my current ongoing poetry writing, it's on my Patreon over at Phoenix 24 Fem. You can find me most places that way. Or if you want to see me playing the definition of what a trans egg character is, who very much he's having a rough time realizing that he really, really can't go back into the closet, and he really wants to. Over on Valdrian's channel with their Girl by Moonlight series, you know, becoming a magical girl and becoming your best true self just happens to be a woman for him. No reason for that. Don't look into it. There's nothing about that. It's a real rough role, folks, but I'm enjoying myself, and we're having a great time, and we'd love your support. And again, speaking of support, please support Sword and Key as much as I pass it on over to Mare to give the little rundown on the channel stuff happening.
Hi, it's me, your tech gremlin. Thank you very much. This was a great game. I'm so excited to be running tech and watching this amazing cast. But anyway, yeah, so channel thingies and stuff to keep an eye on throughout the week. Tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, we have session 45 of Gate Night, our one and only video game stream over here on Sword and Key, where very chaotic playthrough of Baldur's Gate. That's the best I can tell you. On Fridays, Discord movie nights to continue celebrating AAPI Heritage Month. We will be watching Everything Everywhere All at Once at 6 p.m. Pacific. On Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific, we have session 10 of our flagship game Horizons Call. On Sunday, that's 10 a.m. Pacific, we have episode 3 of Tales from the Loop, Signals from Above. Same day on Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific, we have a game of Thunderbolt Savage, I believe it's a superhero game, multiverse using the Marvel Multiverse RPG rule set. And that'll put us back up at Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific of this amazing system. Right now, tonight, we're going to go raid Neon Lights Roleplay, if I can type. And, I'm multitasking. And in the meantime, you can all say goodbye to your wonderful cast and watch our end credits. We will see you in 1 week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.